For this video today, we're in the historic English city of Canterbury, where Jess and I met at university 10 years ago. And specifically, we're going to be exploring Canterbury Cathedral. The original cathedral that was built on this site was over 1400 years old. And despite the original building being destroyed, most of what you see here today is still around 1,000 years old. The cathedral is particularly famous for being the site where Archbishop Thomas Becket was murdered over 800 years ago, and whose tomb became a centre of pilgrimage in Europe. However, on our visit, we were very lucky to get chatting with a guide, who was able to show us some of the hidden history of the cathedral. She took us down to the crypt and showed us how to identify a staggering number of mason's marks, carvings and paintings made by individual workers, pilgrims, knights and religious figures over the centuries, including this one, which, as no one knows quite how or why it appeared there, is said to be the ghost of Thomas Becket himself.
It might have been a pilgrim who drew it. Some people think it might have been a knight.
And we just ran into this lovely lady who showed us all this graffiti that we'd never seen before. And yeah, I'm just so excited.
The guide who we met today told us that some of the marks that you see on the bricks are mason's marks. So the bricklayer who actually laid that particular brick would mark the brick with his personalised symbol, and then they would count how many bricks that particular bricklayer had laid, and then he'd be paid based on the number of bricks. So you see these carvings on so many of the bricks because it's really important for the masons to mark them so they could get paid right. And she was telling us that a lot of the ones that we saw today were from around the 12th century, which is just insane. In addition to the mason's marks, there's loads of other carvings of faces and animals and religious symbols from people all over the centuries who carved things in of huge significance, spiritual or otherwise, to them. And those markings are still there and they're clear. And some of the more obvious ones and some of the more important ones they've actually protected behind glass. And we'll see if we can throw a few of them up on the screen.
I've got some exciting things to show you with all the carvings. So, the really nice lady that we met who showed us the different carvings and what they meant. So there was one that she explained where people drew a house. I don't know if you can see this. It's in the shape of a house with its roof. And so on these carvings they would put like the initials of someone who had passed away, and so they're a memorial for people, and there's loads of them, there's so many. There's another one over here. Look, and you can see on this one it's RF, I think.
Yeah, so saying RF would have been
So
somebody's relative who passed.
And even more exciting, I like to play a game where I can find the oldest date. The oldest one I've ever found was the 1500s. But come see what I found over here. Okay, you don't know how clearly you're going to see this. To me, 1240 something, one?
Definitely does look.
1241, maybe? That's 12 something.
And to be fair, next to it,
Next to it is 1703.
Which is not bad.
So, I'm really excited because I think I found the oldest ever one that I've ever found here. I just think it's so incredible that someone from like the 12th century literally stood where we're standing right now, right this second, and drew these things into the wall. Oh, so cool.
There are more things of interest both in and outside of Canterbury Cathedral than we could possibly show you in one video, but we were particularly grateful to have met the guide on our visit and discover this hidden side to the cathedral's past, written in the carvings and contributions of myriad individual visitors and workers forgotten to history. So if you visit the cathedral yourself, don't forget to check out the seemingly uninteresting bits of bare walls, because there is a treasure trove of history written in those bricks.
We had to have at least one bonus thing for this video, and it is a little way out of Canterbury in Margate, but we've discovered something called the Shell Grotto, and it is literally that. It is like a cave. It's absolutely covered with shells. It was discovered in 1837 and no one knows when it was built, who built it or why it was built. It's just one of those cool things that you can go and see now. Let's go. You go first because I have to do some talking.
Oh my god. I didn't know what to expect, but
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
This is so cool.
So I don't know how obvious this is in the video, but every single one of these is a shell, different sizes, shapes. So all this texture on the walls is all shells. My God.
This is amazing.
They literally must be
I mean, millions.
Millions?
Millions.
Good. I was literally, when you described it to me, I was expecting a cave with like some shells in the walls. Not like this. This is
covered.
amazing.
Isn't it crazy that they can't even date it as well?
Yeah.
They don't know who did it or when it was done.
Yeah. Yeah, it said on the piece of paper, it said that no document
Yeah.
mentioning it, saying when, why, anything. There's just nothing about it. Someone put all this effort in, yet there's no record of why.
But earlier than the 1800s, clearly, which is
Yeah.
really cool. You can see the face in it.
Well worth coming though, isn't it?
Well worth coming.
It's better than I was expecting it to be.
For $4.50 each, well worth it.
Yeah. You really are not likely to see anything like this
Ever.
anywhere else. I've never seen anything like it.
That's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Is that you with your cannon?
Got my cannon. I didn't know how you fire a cannon.
You like the little thing at the end, don't you?
Yeah, it's not very, like, it's not like a...
Yeah.
This isn't making the video, is it?